Good evening, Cleveland and Columbus sports fans. This is Jen B on the Show of the Land on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Tonight, we will be talking about the Guardians, who are currently on yet another win streak. We will talk about the minor league Columbus Clippers and the Akron Rubber Ducks, along with a little bit of Lynchburg Hillcats news. Then we will talk some football with the Browns. We'll talk about the amazing Columbus Crew on their quest for the Champions Cup. Then we will talk about the Cleveland Cavaliers moving on to the second round of the playoffs. We will touch on some volleyball with the Ohio State men's volleyball team and the Columbus Fury. And we'll wrap things up with some hockey with a little bit of Blue Jackets news and how are the Monsters doing in the playoffs. So stay tuned for all of that. Before we get started with tonight's show, a little bit about IE Sports Radio. For the last nearly 10 years, IE Sports Radio has brought you amazing content ranging from interviewing legendary athletes, coaches, and other authorized media personnel to building tailor-made shows dedicated to all major sports cities around the country. Make sure to follow us at IE Sports Radio on X, formerly known as Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok to keep up with the latest in sports and with all of our shows. Also, check out our daily updated website, iesportsradio.com, for sports news, the IE Sports Radio blog, our Hall of Fame, Fans of the Month, pages dedicated to each podcast, including this one, The Show of the Land with Jen B, our IE Sports Radio Community Forum, and stop by the shop and check out the merch. Thank you for making IE Sports Radio your direct feed for all that is sports. Also, if you are catching tonight's show on Spreaker, you may have noticed that there is a new button for our supporters club. If you are so inclined, you can click on that button and it will take you to the page to join the supporters club for just $5 a month. I will be adding, as things go on and I get some supporters, some exclusive content for supporters only, and it will help to make this show just a little bit better. It will help me to get better equipment and things of that nature. So if once again, if you are so inclined, please click the link and support me. And once again, thank you for making IE Sports Radio your direct feed for all that is sports. Now to the show. That's right. Thank you for making IE Sports Radio your direct feed for all that is sports. And of course, if you miss the show live on Spreaker, you can always catch the playback on anywhere that you get your podcasts: Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcast, Amazon Music, Castbox, and more. So be sure to check out the shows. For all of our great shows on IE Sports Radio, you can find them all on any of those apps, as well as on YouTube and, of course, on Spreaker. You can also find them on our website, iesportsradio.com. Now, let's get into some sports. The Guardians finished out the series with the Astros Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So on Tuesday, they took on the Houston Astros, and the starting lineup was left field, Stephen Kwan, second base, Andres Jimenez, third base, Jose Ramirez, first base, Josh Naylor, right field, Will Brennan, center field, Tyler Freeman, DH, Estevan Florial, catcher, Bo Naylor, shortstop, Brian Rocchio. And the starting pitcher was Cookie Carrasco. He went 4 innings with 8 earned runs and 3 strikeouts. Yikes. Not a good outing for Cookie. In the top of the first, Josh Naylor hit a 3-run home run. In the bottom of the third, Houston hit a 3-run home run to tie things up. Then Houston had a 2 RBI single and then another 3-run home run. And at this point, I turned the game off and went to watch the Cavs. But then I saw in the ticker that the Guardians had tied things up. So I was like, whoa, what happened? So I went back, rewound, and found out what happened. And Andres Jimenez hit a 2-run home run in the top of the 6th, and Estevan Florial hit a 3-run home run. Then in the top of the 10th, that's right, another game going into extra innings, David Fry had an RBI double. And then in the bottom of the 10th, Houston had a walk-off 2-run home run, and the Guardians ended up losing 10-9. Wednesday, the Guardians again faced the Houston Astros with a starting lineup of left field Stephen Kwan, second base Andres Jimenez, third base Jose Ramirez, first base Josh Naylor, catcher David Fry, DH Will Brennan, right field Estevan Florial, center field Tyler Freeman, and shortstop Brian Rocchio. The starting pitcher was Tristan McKenzie. He went 7 innings, 2 earned runs, and 6 strikeouts. In the top of the 5th, Will Brennan hit a solo home run. And then Stephen Kwan had an RBI triple. In the bottom of the 6th, Houston had an RBI triple. In the bottom of the 7th, Houston had a solo home run, tying things up at 2-2. So the game went into extra innings for the 4th game in a row for the Guardians. In the top of the 10th, Stephen Kwan had an RBI double. And Clase got the save in the bottom of the 10th, save number 9, and the Guardians won 3-2. Former Indians pitcher CC Sabathia will be inducted into the Guardians Hall of Fame on August 3rd. He was a 3-time All-Star while in Cleveland and won the AL Cy Young Award in 2007. And CC had some words for the Guardians and the Cleveland fans, and I am just trying to pull them up, but I don't know where I put them. There they are. Oh. The Guardians actually waited until 1:52 p.m. on May 2nd to announce that CC Sabathia would be the newest member of the Hall of Fame. And the timing was not random. The hour was in honor of Sabathia making his major league debut in 2001. The minutes and date represent the number 52 that he sported on his back throughout his 19-year career. The extra attention to detail was just a minor way for the organization to honor his importance to Cleveland, and the Sabathia-related festivities are only getting started. That was from the Guardians, and then Sabathia's comments. I don't don't. I seriously don't know where I put them, guys. Oh, here it is. Here it is. CeCe Sabathia said, "Grateful beyond words. Thank you, Cleveland. The organization, fans, staff, coaches, players, and everyone who has played a part in my journey. Honored to join the Cleveland Guardians Hall of Fame." So congratulations to CeCe, and I look forward to those festivities coming up in August. So then, a Thursday, the Guardians again took on the Houston Astros. Starting lineup: left field, Stephen Kwan; second base, Andres Gimenez; third base, Jose Ramirez; first base, Josh Naylor; right field, Will Brennan; DH, Estevan Florial; catcher, Bo Naylor; center field, Gabriel Arias; shortstop, Brian Rocchio. Starting pitcher was Logan Allen. He went 5.2 innings, or 5 2/3 innings, and had 2 earned runs and 5 strikeouts. In the top of the third, Andres Gimenez had an RBI double, and then Jose Ramirez had a sacrifice fly. Bottom of the third, Houston scored on a passed ball. Bottom of the sixth, Houston hit a 2-run home run. Bottom of the seventh, they had an RBI single, and it just went on and on and on from there, and the Guardians lost 8-2. Gavin Williams was re-evaluated on Wednesday, and through some with no pain. He will begin rehab stints in the minors again soon. The Guardians recalled Peter Strzelecki and designated Tyler Beatty for assignment. And then Friday, they began their series against the Anaheim Angels. The starting lineup was left field, Stephen Kwan; second base, Andres Gimenez; DH, Jose Ramirez; first base, Josh Naylor; right field, Will Brennan; center field, Tyler Freeman; catcher, Bo Naylor; third base, Gabriel Arias; shortstop, Brian Rocchio. The starting pitcher was Tanner Bybee, and he went 5 innings, had 6 earned runs, and 4 strikeouts. Not the greatest outing for him either. And the Angels hit a solo home run in the top of the third, and that was all that I was able to see of that game because I was busy rooting on the Cleveland Cavaliers in the playoffs. But the Guardians ended up losing 6-0. Hence why I didn't go back and finish watching. Saturday, the Guardians again took on the Anaheim Angels. And the starting lineup was left field, Stephen Kwan; shortstop, Brian Rocchio; third base, Jose Ramirez; first base, David Fry; right field, Ramon Laureano; second base, Andres Gimenez; center field, Tyler Freeman; a DH, Bo Naylor; and catcher, Austin Hedges. Ben Lively was the starting pitcher, and he went 6 innings, 1 earned run, and 5 strikeouts. In the bottom of the second, Austin Hedges had a 2-run home run, his first of the season. In the top of the fourth, Stephen Kwan left with a hamstring injury, and Gabriel Arias replaced him in left field. In the bottom of the fourth, Ramon Laureano had a solo home run, also his first home run of the season. And in the top of the fifth, the Angels had an RBI single. And then in the bottom of the sixth, Bo Naylor hit a grand slam, his first career grand slam. And the Guardians ended up winning 7-1. Sunday, the Guardians again took on the Anaheim Angels with the starting lineup of a DH, Estevan Florial; second base, Andres Gimenez; third base, Jose Ramirez; first base, Josh Naylor; left field, Will Brennan; right field, Ramon Laureano; catcher, Bo Naylor; center field, Tyler Freeman; shortstop, Gabriel Arias; starting pitcher, Cookie Carrasco, and he went 6 innings, 1 earned run, and 3 strikeouts. In the top of the second, the Angels had a sacrifice fly. In the bottom of the sixth, Jose Ramirez hit a 2-run home run. In the bottom of the eighth, Josh Naylor hit a 2-run home run. Clase recorded his 10th save of the season, and the Guardians won 4-1. Great, right? But then after the game, they got not so great news that Stephen Kwan will be out for at least 4 weeks. He has been placed on the 10-day IL, and Kyle Manzardo has been called up from AAA Columbus. Kwan's injury is an acute hamstring strain, and as I said, he is expected to miss about 4 weeks. Right-handed pitcher Peter Strzelecki was optioned back to AAA Columbus, and Sam Henches has been activated from the 15-day IL and has rejoined the Guardians in the bullpen. Yesterday, the Guardians started a series against the Detroit Tigers. The starting lineup was left field Estevan Florial, second base Andres Gimenez, third base Jose Ramirez, first base Josh Naylor, right field Will Brennan, catcher Bo Naylor, DH Kyle Manzardo, his first major league start, center field Tyler Freeman, shortstop Brian Rocchio. Starting pitcher was Tristan McKenzie. He went 5 innings, 1 earned run, and 6 strikeouts. In the top of the first, Detroit hit a solo home run. It was the very first pitch of the first inning. And I was like, oh boy, this is not going to be a good game. But it's all good. It's all good. Bottom of the first, Will Brennan had an RBI single to tie things up. Bottom of the sixth, Jose Ramirez had a solo home run. The Guardians won 2-1, and Clase recorded his 11th save of the season. The Guardians are currently first in the AL Central, 2.5 games ahead of both the Twins and the Royals. And they will finish the series with Detroit tonight and tomorrow. The game actually just started tonight, and Detroit is winning 1-0, much like yesterday. And then Thursday they will start a series against the Chicago White Sox through Sunday, and then they will begin a series against the Texas Rangers on Monday. That will go through Wednesday. With that home run yesterday, Jose Ramirez now holds the franchise record for most go-ahead home runs at 87. So congratulations to Mr. Ramirez. And my daughter was messing with my notes. So 1 second while I get to the next thing. While I'm doing that, shout out to Patty Bax, who has joined me in the chat. She says, have a great show. Thank you very much, Patty. Now for some minor league baseball. Akron Rubber Ducks right fielder Chase DeLauder has been placed on the 7-day IL with a foot strain. At least originally that's what it was. After further testing, it was determined that he has a fracture in the 5th metatarsal bone in his left foot and will meet with the foot specialist who performed surgery on the same bone last year. So we will keep an eye on how that goes. Mr. DeLauder may be out for a while. Akron left fielder Connor Knox was activated from the developmental list. And Columbus right-handed pitcher Nick Michalchuk has been activated from IL. Single A affiliate of the Cleveland Guardians, the Lynchburg Hillcats, pitcher Matt Wilkinson was named Pitcher of the Month for April in the Carolina League. He's leading the league in innings pitched, strikeouts, ERA, and WHIP at 3-0 with a 0.35 ERA, 25.2 innings pitched, and 46 strikeouts. So congratulations to Matt Wilkinson. This past week, the Columbus Clippers went 3-3 against Toledo. Their next games will be starting tonight through Sunday against Iowa. And they are still in last place, but only by a half a game behind St. Paul. Akron went 5-1 against Richmond, and their next series is starting tonight through Sunday against Bowie. Akron is in first place by 2.5 games over Harrisburg. So at least the Rubber Ducks are doing well. Let's see where the Guardians are at. Are they still losing? Yes, they are. Oh, it hasn't updated. It's still the middle of the first, 1-0. So that will wrap things up for baseball. So now we're going to have some words from our sponsor, and then we will have a short break, and I will be back to talk some football and some soccer. So stay tuned to the show of the land on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. And I will be right back after these messages. Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky. Planet Jerky is the official jerky of the 2022 California League champion Lake Elsinore Storm Single A affiliate of the San Diego Padres. This all brisket jerky has gluten-free options, contains no MSG, no sodium nitrate, low in sugar, and high in protein. Planet Jerky, the jerky that's on a whole other planet. And you can follow them on Instagram at Planet Jerky and place your orders on their website, planetjerky.net. All orders of $50 or more get a free shipping. So place your orders today. I promise you will not regret it. Hey there, IE Sports Radio fans. Be sure to check out our sponsor, Seal the Deal Wax Seals by Cecilia B. You just finished your very own wedding or baby shower invitations and you're looking for that extra special touch? Maybe you just wrote a letter to a relative or a friend and you want to add to their smile when they receive it. Then seal the deal with Cecilia's handmade sealing wax stamps for your invitations, letters, and gifts. You bring the deal, we'll bring the seal. You can find them on Instagram at sealthedeal_wax stamps and on Facebook, Seal the Deal Wax Seals.
What's good, everyone? It's Drewski, the host of Heart of Texas Sports on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. On this station, we cover everything in the Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas area. From we cover the Dallas Cowboys, the Dallas Stars, Dallas Mavericks, Dallas Wings, Texas Rangers, TCU, SMU, we cover it all right here every Wednesdays from 9 to 10 p.m. Central Time. Make sure you stay live with me on the Heart of Texas Sports on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
What's happening, sports fans? Are you a fan of Southern California sports? Are you looking for a show hotter than a hot summer day in California? Then look no further than the SoCal Supreme Sports Show, where I talk about all things Southern California sports. That's right, all sports teams from Southern California. From the hard-hitting tackles of the NFL, to the killer crossovers and big three-pointers of the NBA and WNBA, to the grand slams of the MLB, to the bone-chilling goals of the NHL, and to the booming kicks of the MLS. The SoCal Supreme Sports Show has it all for you. Oh, and let us not forget about the college sports as well. So join me, Taryn Rodriguez, every week here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
What's up, Pittsburgh? This is Ralph Calise, the host of the Injury Report on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Are you that passionate diehard Steelers, Penguins, Pirates, or just a Pittsburgh sports fan? Then please join me on the Injury Report every Tuesday on IE Sports Radio, the direct feed for all that is sports. And I will update you on all that's black and gold, have you telling your Pittsburgh fans and friends what's up with Pittsburgh sports. Tune in Tuesday with me, Ralph Calise, the Injury Report on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Let's go!
You're back live with Jen B on the Show of the Land on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. And a shout out to Ralph Calise, host of the Yinzer Report, who just joined me in the chat. He is currently in Florida at his daughter's college graduation, so congratulations to her, and thank you for joining, Ralph. And the Yinzer Report was not on before me today, but it will be back next week for IE Sports Radio 10-year anniversary week. So be sure to check out the Yinzer Report and all of our shows. Especially next week for the 10-year anniversary, because we're all doing something a little special for the 10-year anniversary. Now, for some Browns. Don't have a whole lot going on with the Browns, but Jamari Thrash has chosen number 80. Nathaniel Watson has chosen number 40, and Miles Harden will be number 26. The Browns hosted the high school girls flag football championship at Browns Stadium yesterday, and Mayfield High School took home the title. Kevin Stefanski, Greg Newsome II, Justin Hardy Sr., Deuce Staley, Callie Bronson, and Ashton Grant were all there in support of the teams. Congratulations to the Mayfield High School ladies flag football team on their title in that. And other than that, there's not a whole lot going on with the Browns right now. Just waiting for the schedule release a little bit later this week. So we will keep an eye on that, and we will talk about that a little bit more next week. Now, for the Columbus Crew. So Wednesday, they had the second leg in the semifinals for the CONCACAF Championship Cup. And they were in Monterrey, playing Monterrey. At 11 minutes, Chaberco scored an own goal, giving Monterrey the lead, 1-0. Then at 45 plus 4 minutes of stoppage time, Aiden Morris scored a goal, and it was tied 1-1 at the half. At 49 minutes, Diego Rossi scored a goal, and at 89 minutes, Jason Russell-Rowe scored a goal, and the Columbus Crew won in resounding fashion, 3-1, winning the series on a 5-2 aggregate score, and they will move on to the CONCACAF Champions Cup, which will be on June 1st at 9:15 p.m. Eastern Time in Estadio Hidalgo, Mexico, where they will face CF Pachuca for the Champions Cup. Aiden Morris was named Man of the Match, and the Crew are the first MLS team to make the CONCACAF final, beating 2 Liga Mexico teams without suffering a loss in the second leg of either series. They are the third MLS team to reach the CONCACAF final, and it is the Crew's first time in club history. Head coach Wilfried Nancy is now undefeated in his first 5 matches against Liga Mexico teams. Jason Russell-Rowe, Aiden Morris, Cucho Hernandez, Rudy Camacho, Patrick Schulte, and Sean Zawadzki were all named to the Champions Cup semifinals best 11. Due to the Champions Cup final, the Crew's games against the New England Revolution and the Seattle Sounders have been rescheduled for October 12th and September 7th, respectively. They were originally scheduled for 5/29 and 6/1, but the Crew will be in Mexico for the CONCACAF Championship Cup, so hence the rescheduling. The Crew's next match is Saturday against interstate rival FC Cincinnati, so it is officially Hell Week. And the Crew is currently ranked number 1 in the CONCACAF club rankings, just above their finals opponent. I just forgot their name. CF Pachuca. So congratulations to the Columbus Crew. It was an amazing match. I couldn't believe my eyes. I missed the beginning of it because I was finishing up the Guardians game on the same day. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it was one of the 4 games in a row that went into extra innings. So the game should have been over before the soccer match started, but it was not because it went into extra innings. So I was finishing up that, and I saw that there was a goal scored. And then when I looked to see who scored it, I recognized the name, and I was like, does Monterrey have a player with the same name as one of our players? That's weird. And then I saw the OG next to it, and I was like, seriously? We're going to lose this because we scored an own goal? Come on. But luckily, I was able to get the match on prior to Aiden Morris scoring the second goal. That tied things up, and I was able to watch all 3 of the Columbus Crew's goals that actually counted for the Columbus Crew. It was a very exciting match. Monterrey started playing a little dirty. There were a lot of penalties, some yellow cards. It was a little ugly, but the Crew came out on top, and best of luck to them on June 1st. And of course, best of luck to them on Wednesday, or no, not Wednesday, Saturday, when they take on FC Cincinnati. Now for some basketball. How about them Cavs? Those Cavs. You know how we said last week that the Fury is the most frustrating and confusing team in the Pro Volleyball Federation? Well, the Cavs are the most frustrating and confusing team in the NBA right now. Well, at least in the NBA playoffs. So Jarrett Allen was ruled out for Game 5 with a rib injury. And Game 5 took place on Tuesday against the Orlando Magic. The starting five were Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, Max Strus, Isaac Okoro, and Evan Mobley. At the end of the first quarter, the Cavs were up 33-23. At the half, they were up 48-47. At the end of 3, they were up 75-70, and they ended up winning 104-103. Donovan Mitchell led with 28 points. Evan Mobley had a double-double with 14 points and 13 rebounds. Jarrett Allen was then ruled out for Game 6, which should have closed out the series. They were in Orlando on Friday. The starting five were Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, Max Strus, Marcus Morris, and Evan Mobley. At the end of 1, the Cavs were down 29-25. At the half, they were down 53-49. At the end of 3, they were up 78-73. Looking good, right? They lost 103-96. Donovan Mitchell led with 50 points, and it still was not enough. Jarrett Allen was again ruled out for Game 5. Game 5 took place, Game 7. Game 7 took place on Sunday. Starting five were Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, Max Strus, Isaac Okoro, and Evan Mobley. At the end of 1, the Cavs were down 24-18. At the half, they were down 53-43. At one point in the second quarter, the Cavs were down by 18 and then fought back to get it to a 10-point deficit by the half. At the end of 3, they were up 76-68, and they ended up winning 106-94. Donovan Mitchell led with 39 points. Evan Mobley had another double-double with 11 points and 16 rebounds. With that 18-point comeback, the Cavs recorded the largest Game 7 comeback in NBA history. And they will now face the Boston Celtics in the second round. That series begins tonight. They will play in Boston tonight and Thursday, and then they will come to Cleveland Saturday and Monday. And Jarrett Allen is questionable for tonight's game. I just saw a report right before I started the show that Dean Wade, there has been some positive news, though it did not say what that news was. It just said positive, so I'm assuming that means that he's possibly questionable, maybe, for tonight. Just one note in college basketball news. Cleveland State's Tristan Enaruna has been invited to the G League Elite Camp. So congratulations to Tristan getting a shot with the G League. That is going to wrap things up for basketball, football, soccer. I am going to take another short break, and when I come back, we will finish out the show with some volleyball and some hockey and my trip to Columbus to watch the Columbus Fury. So stay right here on the Show of the Land with Jen B on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
What's up, sports fans? You're listening to IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. I'm your favorite West Coast Wisconsinite, Bernie Bango, and if you're a cheesehead, come listen to my show, Big Cheese Sports, where we road trip around America's Dairyland, previewing, reviewing, predicting, debating, and digging into all that is Wisconsin sports at the college and pro levels. Join me on IE Sports Radio, Sundays at 1 p.m. Central Standard. Bernie out.
Welcome to the 305, aka the Magic City, and this is Magic City Scoreboard. I'm your host, JB, and right here we're going to talk anything Miami. Miami Dolphins, Miami Heat, Miami Hurricanes, Marlins, Panthers, Inter Miami, and even high school football. So join me once a week right here on Magic City Scoreboard on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed to all that is sports.
Yo, what's going down? This is Spaced Out Sports with your host, J-Man, giving you all Houston sports straight from the source, brought to you IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. In this show, we're going to talk about everything Houston, through and through, and everything. We're going to talk about the surrounding areas. We're going to talk about local sports, everything in Texas in general, mainly Houston, but we're going to talk about everything in the sports world. I want to hear from y'all. Y'all definitely going to hear from me. We're going to go from anything all over, from football to MMA to everything. Let's have a good show. I'm looking forward to hearing from the city. Y'all make sure y'all just check me out every Wednesday right here at Spaced Out Sports, brought to you by IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Let's go.
You're back live with Jen B on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Shout out to Marcus Losgrade, who just joined me in the chat. He is the host of Gloves Off, our boxing and fight show, so be sure to check that out if you're into the combat sports. And he says, I hate we have to do this to your calves. Well, we'll see. We shall see. I mean, I don't expect it to go more than 5 games myself. But, you know, the Cavs have surprised me before, so we will see what happens. Now for some volleyball. Ohio State played Grand Canyon on Tuesday in the NCAA, whatever it's called. I'm going to call it the NCAA men's volleyball tournament because that's what it was. Ohio State was the 6th seed. Grand Canyon was the 3 seed. And Grand Canyon won in 3 sets, winning set 1 25-23, set 2 25-20, and set 3 25-21. Ohio State just could not get anything going in any of the sets. They would get going a little bit, but then they'd let Grand Canyon come right back and go crazy. So, unfortunately, Ohio State's season is now over, but hopefully they'll come back stronger and better next season. Now for the Columbus Fury. Thursday, they took on the number 1 Atlanta Vibe. And they lost in 3 straight sets. Set 1, 21-25. Set 2, 19-25. And set 3, 18-25. The most confusing and most frustrating team in the Pro Volleyball Federation. Because they have actually beat the Vibe twice. So, it is what it is. Now, Saturday, they took on the Omaha Supernovas at Nationwide Arena in Columbus. On Wednesday, I found out that I had entered for a chance to win some tickets, and I actually won. So, for the rest of the week, I was debating on whether or not to go and how that was going to work, because Columbus is a little over 2 hours away from me, and we only have one car. But we decided that my husband would just catch a lift home from work, and I would take my daughters down to Columbus to watch the match. So that is what we did. Actually, my older daughter, who is an adult, drove herself and met me and my 14-year-old there. And it was a wonderful experience. Nationwide Arena is lovely, and I am looking forward to trying and get tickets to a Blue Jackets game next season to go watch some hockey there. We're thinking about doing a little mini family vacation and going to check out a Blue Jackets game and hang out in Columbus for a couple of days and see what all there is to see, because we didn't have a whole lot of time to see anything, because the match was at 7:30. So left here around 4:30 and got home around 1:15 in the morning. So really didn't have much time to do much of anything other than watch the match. And my 14-year-old was bored out of her mind, so she was driving us a little crazy. My 24-year-old and I had a blast, but my 14-year-old was, after the second set, was like, "Is it time to leave yet?" in true teenage fashion. But set one, the Fury won 26-24. So we were like, yes, we came for a good match. Well, then set two, they lost 22-25. Set three, 18-25. And set four, 20-25, losing the match 3-1. However, the Fury are still alive in the playoff race. Barely, but alive nonetheless. Their last three matches of the season are tonight in San Diego against the Mojo, Thursday in Omaha against the Supernovas, and Saturday in Columbus against the Mojo again. In order to make the playoffs, they need to win all three matches, I do believe. I could be mistaken. It might be okay if they lose to Omaha, but they definitely can't lose either of the matches to San Diego, because San Diego is who they are competing with for that last spot in the playoffs. So hopefully they can at least win tonight so I can have some hope for the rest of the week, but we will see what happens there. Now for some Blue Jackets news, Damon Severson is representing Team Canada in the World Championships that are beginning, I believe, I think they start this weekend, the 10th or the 11th. And then Elvis Merzlikins is representing Latvia in the World Championships. Blue Jackets prospect Denton Matichuk won the Bill Hunter Memorial Trophy for Defenseman of the Year in the Western Hockey League. So congratulations to Denton. And Columbus Blue Jackets 2023 draft pick goaltender Melvin Strahl will be playing with the USHL Youngstown Phantoms for the 2024-25 season. So congratulations to him. He was just drafted by the Phantoms either today or last night. Also, the NHL lottery will be taking place tonight, so soon we will be finding out what pick the Blue Jackets will have in the NHL draft coming up next month. So fingers crossed that they will have a decent pick. They are currently the fourth pick, but they could, depending on how the lottery plays out, they could end up as low as 6, but they they can pick, depending on the lottery, anywhere between 1 and 6. So hopefully they will stay at 4 or move up and not move back, because they need all the help they can get. But we will see how it plays out. And I will have more on that, of course, next week, once the final results are in tonight. Now for the Monsters in the AHL playoffs, Wednesday, they were in Belleville against the Senators for Game 1. At the end of the first period, it was 0-0. Then Belleville had a power play goal, and then they scored another goal. And then Josh Dunn scored a goal for the Monsters, and they were down 2-1 at the end of 2, and the final score was 2-1, so they lost the first game. Friday was the second game, also in Belleville, and the Monsters ended up winning 4-3 in overtime. Cole Clayton scored the game winner in overtime. The series is currently tied at 1-1. Games 3 through 5 will be played in Cleveland starting on Wednesday. Game 3 will be Wednesday. Game 4 will be Friday. And Game 5, if necessary, will be on Sunday. So, the reason for them playing on those days is because they cannot play on the same days that the Cavs are playing the Celtics in Cleveland, because they play at the same place. So the Cavs are getting ready to kick off tonight's game against the Celtics here in about 7 minutes. So I am going to wrap up the show so I can make sure that it is recording, because I also have a baseball game to watch. And speaking of which, it is the bottom of the second, and the Guardians are losing 5-2. So the baseball game does not sound like it is going too well, so maybe I will not be watching baseball. Maybe I will be watching the basketball game instead. Or maybe I will turn both off and watch the Columbus Fury. We'll see. But let's cue the music. That is going to be all for tonight. Thank you for joining me, Jen B, tonight on the Show of the Land. Be sure to follow me on X, Instagram, Threads at BelieveLandGirl, and on TikTok at Jen.BelieveLand. You can also follow the show for daily updates on Cleveland and Columbus sports on X at Show of the Land IE. Next up is the Buffalo Huddle with Patty Bax for all that is Buffalo sports. Be sure to catch me next Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern on the Show of the Land for our 10-year anniversary with IE Sports Radio for a special show. And I'm still coming up with exactly what that special show is going to be, but it will be a little bit special. So be sure to check it out. And thank you again for supporting IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Have a great night. Go Cavs!